So no Larigba, we thank him for everything he has done for us. So we glorify his holy name. Adúpẹ́ Olúwa ṣeun. Báwo la ṣe ń palẹ̀mọ́ fún ọdún? Please, so wọ́n ní ṣe bó ti mọ ẹlẹ́wà ṣàpọ́n. That was then. No, ṣe bó ti mọ goes for to everybody. Bí èèyàn bá ṣe mọ, òun ni kó ṣe ṣe o. Don't overdo it. Ọdún ṣì pọ̀ tọ́lọ́run máa mú wa ṣe. We are still going to celebrate many more Christmases and New Years. So don't overdo it. Don't go beyond your limits. So thank you so very much. Let me quickly advertise one or two things before we go into today's program. Because today, as you know, we combined both our business and our, let me see it, the online squad, the online market squad. We combine it with our reality corner. So we have something today. I know you people have seen the flyer, so you have an idea of what is coming up today by the special grace of God. So thank you so very much for joining. And then at the same time, I will just have to advertise few people, before we go ahead and do it. So I'll advertise myself as the first person anyway, first come, first serve. So I'll advertise myself. If you want any ready-made attire for both men and women, children and adults, contact me. Even if you want to buy materials, contact me and I will get in touch with you. The number to get in touch with is +1 215 501 4151. +1 215 501 4151. That is the WhatsApp. You can text, send on WhatsApp or call or leave a voice note, which I will listen to. Thank you so much. Then I'll advertise Modupe Busari Oyeniran. She sells clothing, any kind of clothes, Karani, like the one I used yesterday. The one I used today, and it was yesterday our time, that I used to post, like to advertise myself for this week. I bought it from her. So our clothing don't fade, they don't wash away. You don't wash them and then everything will now fade. Correct material, lace ni, Ankara ni, atiku ni, foil lace, everything. She sells all those ones. Actually, okay. You want to do party, you need somebody to pick a shoe for you. Beckon on her, she will answer you, and she's very open and straightforward. Thank you so very much. Then I go ahead, I go to Adeyinka Runke already for catering services, for events. Call her, get in touch with her. All these people, you go into their messenger, contact them, then Tinobati, you go ahead from there, make inquiries, ask questions, and be ready to do it. And that is it. So you want wine and spirits? She sells it. All assorted drinks, anything. Table water, small chops, chips and fish. Deliver both continental dishes and local. Anything all around that. She's ready for you and she's strong and energetic. So then Adewumi Akinola, she supplies paints. If you want to paint your wall, offices ni, ile ni, shops ni, even you want to renovate and repaint, renovate and paint the house, she's ready to supply you. Only emotion ni, glossy, satin, silk, floor paint, everything. In premium, standard, and economy. So reach out to her, and she showcased some of the houses she has already supplied paintings to. Ibijoke Ariola Michael Angela Wanta, she sells food. I know her, she knows how to cook. So I've known her for years, so I know she's good at what she's doing. So she's in Lagos. Contact her, go to her messenger, and then you people can talk from there. Make inquiries, ask questions. You that want to deliver goods, make sure you get your money. You want to defer sanwo, and then you want to fetaja. Don't say because they have paid you up front, fake. Please give them, deliver accordingly. And anybody you are patronizing, let them know you are from Thoughtful Events so that they can give you discount. Please, thank you. Adeni Ibumi Odu, our regular, Coca-Cola products, any Coca-Cola products, Lefera, Coke, Sprite, Fanta, anyone, even their bottled water, let her know she's available for you, and then she will supply you. Thank you so very much. I'm bringing our guests in. So as soon as we bring our guests in, we'll go from there. Then afterwards, we can now, after the talking with our guests, then we can say, okay, let's do other adverts. That's why we are bringing our guests on time, because that is it. Ah, she's here. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Can you hear her, please? If you can hear her, let's know. If you cannot, so that we can adjust our volume.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, me, I can hear you loud and clear. So is everybody hearing her? Wow. Good evening, good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
I believe they are hearing you, because only played back. Yeah, so they are hearing us. So with me tonight, I have Mrs. Do we call you Pastor Mrs. too?
I'm Mojirayo.
You got support with that, didn't
I am Mojirayo, please.
Okay, Mrs. Mojirayo Ogundeji. She's a friend, and she's a pastor's wife. She wants to tell us life of a clergy man, of a clergy wife or a pastor's wife. I want you to understand that she's talking from her own perspective. Emma sọ wípé bó ṣe yẹ kó rí ni kò yẹ kó rí báyìí, èyí wù mí ò wọ́ ni o. So this is her own life. She's talking to us about, according to her own experience and according to how she feels and what she knows. So we can bring somebody else tomorrow to talk about the same topic, and they will give us something different from what she's coming to give us. So it's everybody's opinion, and it differs from each other. So Emma, take offense. So Mrs. Mojirayo Ogundeji, you are highly welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you.
Invitation, impressed. I feel honorable. Thank you so much.
We thank God for that. We thank God for that. So thank you. So the first question, I think I gave you an insight of some of the questions. You said, yes, I deliberately gave you few questions, so that you can know what to expect. If you did that in me, I'm a questionnaire. I can ask. I'm always inquisitive. I want to know this and that. So I will ask you questions. So would I say, was your husband a pastor before marriage or after they married, or you knew he was going to be a pastor, you were planning for it, or how is it?
He wasn't a pastor before we got married. He was just a brother serving in the church. So to say, he was in the ushering and Sunday school department. And by the background of the church we attend Redeemed Christian Church of God. So in Redeem, it can just it can be your time anytime. That's the way Redeem is. So I never knew. While we were cutting, while I was in school, I had friends who had husbands to be, like fiancé, that were grooming. They were being groomed to become reverends. I have one that the husband, while we were in school, the husband to be was actually at Emmanuel College of Theology. So in fact, we all call her Yayad, because she knew that after marriage she was getting married to a priest, a reverend in the Anglican Church. But me, I never knew. We got married, and then like 6 years into the marriage, that's 15 years ago now. 6 years into the marriage, it was this, like I said, usher in the church and Sunday school teacher. I also teach in the Sunday school and children church and in the choir as well. And in Redeem, this is the season. Christmas time is the season, and Easter time is the period they plant new churches during festival period. They call it Goa fishing. So during the Goa fishing, a new parish will be planted, and then people will be sent to go and start the new parish. So we were at this go fishing, and I was just sitting on my own jejely, just minding just minding my business. And they planted the parish. Our then zonal pastor said, we are planting a new parish, this and this, that and that. And then he mentioned the pastor that will go to that new parish is, I wasn't even listening. Somebody just tapped me and said, is your name there? They've mentioned your husband's name. I said, it can't be. Then I saw people clapping and urging me to get up. I saw my husband moving forward to go and kneel down for the prayer, and I was, and if I busted into cry, I was just crying. What kind of surprise? Let me not say what kind of surprise it was this. So it's something we never planned for. We were just workers in the household of God, doing God's business and doing our own business as well, but we weren't, in fact, it's not something we were hoping or aspiring to be. But the way God works and the way God moves, he called the unqualified and made them qualified. He called, in fact, those who are not prepared, those that will say, what will I do? And there we are all vessels in the hand of God, and then God will use us when we make ourselves available. Thank you. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, you were able to answer. Thank you so very much. So you never planned this, you never even thought about it, could occur to your mind, but at least because your husband was a Christian, you were a Christian, so you were just working for God. That is it.
Workers in the church.
For long. So, and that is it. Any tape, la ṣe lógo. So Ọlọ́run wo ọkàn, àwa lè máa wojú. So he knew who he wanted, and he can use anybody at any time and for anything, and that is it. Okay, you said you were crying, right? Okay. And I believe your children were still young then, so I wouldn't involve them because they wouldn't even know the difference between pastor and Yabi pastor, because daddy was shani. So, okay, now, when you now got home, what was his own reaction and what was your own reaction? What did you say? What did you deliberate on? Did you discuss it? And did you plan? Was he scared also? That time he would tell you his mind. Or was he expecting it? Does he have a clue that maybe a clue that it was going to happen like that?
It's breaking. I can't hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I said I don't want to involve the children because they were still young then. They didn't know the left from right. Okay. So now I said, when you got home with your husband, what was the reaction? What did he say? Was he scared? Was he holding on steadfast? What was your own reaction? How did you I'm so brain now, we'll go para small, okay? And stuff like that. What was his own reaction? How did you people discuss it? And what did you do, like a way forward?
Well, he said he was going to meet our then bishop pastor and explain to him. He's just a small boy. He does not even know what to do. That was going to meet the provincial pastor to beg the provincial pastor to please maybe choose someone else. And then, by the time we got home, it was still like a magic to me. It was still like, I don't know what to do. By my nature, I am very, I don't know. There are some people that their introvert is even introverted. If you know what I mean, introverted introverts. That's the kind of person I am. So how will I face crowd? How will I manage people? How will I do this? How will I do that? When we got home and he tried to call the provincial pastor to book an appointment with him, the provincial pastor just congratulated him and said, God will work with you. God will work with you. God will support you. God will, he was just praying and blessing him. He did not even allow him to say why he has called. He did not even allow him to say why he has called that. He did not allow. Hello, brother Mike, is that you? Oh, God will work with you. The Lord will support you. praying and blessing him. And in fact, he couldn't see anything again. He could not see anything again. He couldn't see anything again. And then we just prayed that night. We just prayed and we just said, well, God, it is choose ourselves. It is you through our leaders. We are just workers in the church doing our work for God. And it's not something we expect. God, just let your name be glorified. Like our spiritual fathers have prayed and blessed us, work with us, support us. And if I want to be truthful to God, he is a faithful God. Even when we are unfaithful as human beings, he's faithful. When we are faithless, he remains faithful.
That is it. Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So that is it. Okay. I hope if my questions are too tedious for you, just let me know. If you don't want to go further, you let me know. Right? So then afterwards, normally you were both young in the marriage, and then even in age we're not that old, because you see some people older than that, and before God chose you people. You're not hearing me?
I can't
Hello?
hear you. It's breaking. Hello? Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I said, was there any form of training, like orientation for both of you, like taking you through, especially, let's say the man will say is the pastor as the Lord leads, but you have some things, you have some obligations and some things to do. So was there any orientation, any training? Did anybody call you, or did they schedule anything for you as the woman in the house?
There's in training department, and then he has finished that school of disciples. He was actually in the Bible college then. So our father in the Lord told me that I should also enroll myself for that school of disciples, which I did. Then we were having meeting, our mother in Israel, Momijiyo, Pastor Adeboye's wife. She was always having regular meetings with his wife. So anytime we have pastors meeting like that, it's usually at the redemption camp. I always make myself available. Okay. So initially we did not have any induction. This is just how do I put it now? You just start the job. There's no induction. The thing is, they prayed for us on a Saturday. No, it was on a Friday. Easter, Good Friday. They prayed for us on a Friday, and by Sunday they've started the church already. That's redeemed for you. They started the church, so we were just there. We were just there to start the church. There was no Sunday school teacher, no choir. They just gave us maybe 5 members plus myself, my husband, and our 2 children there. So I had to start. I had to become the choir mistress. I had to become the Sunday school teacher. I had to become the usher. I have to become the children teacher for just the 3. I think you had 3 of, we just, and later on Sunday, that you don't want to go to church on Sunday, you have to go, and service must hold, irrespective of a number of people that are present. You have to go. So it's not a job. It's not a position. We say, oh, give me 1 month to prepare. The service must hold on Sunday. So Friday, and by Sunday, the church celebrates the parish, and then the church started. The church name is Divine Favor. By the grace of God, is now a zonal headquarters in Ologuneri, Ibadan, where assistant provisional, what do they call them now? Assistant provincial pastor is holding forth in that place now, by the grace of God, from a very small and little beginning. God really enlarged that church and he glorified his name.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you. Then, in the church, as a new church, you said you had few members. Were the members helpful? Did they do anything like, they have to encourage you when they come to church, when you call them to do this, they do that, and stuff like that. So were they very encouraging? Was there any form of help from their end also?
Okay. You want me to go to the background? I will go. This parish I'm talking about was planted in the sitting room of a brethren. It was planted in the sitting room of a brethren. This particular family that gave us their sitting room, they don't attend our church. They attend our area headquarters. So when we are coming to use their sitting room, they are going to their own church.
Oh, the same redeem, but different parish.
The same redeem, different parish, but he released the sitting room to be used by God. So it was myself, my 2 children, my husband, 4 of us, and 5 members. I cannot forget 5 members, 4 teenagers, and their elder sister that was already in the university. They gave us the family of Obafemi. And, their mother said, I cannot be going to the area headquarters. Why my children are worshiping in this parish? It's closer to my house. So their mother joined us, making 6 people. Their mother joined us, making 6 people in that place, and said, I cannot be going to the area headquarters. Let me join my children in this parish. The daughter was also in the choir. One of the sons likes drumming. So one day, maybe 2 weeks after the church was inaugurated, the mother went to the market and bought drum set with her own money.
Wow.
Because the son, Timilein, loves drumming. So the mother went and bought drum set, very big one for a small church in that small sitting room. So it makes it, when somebody is singing and somebody is drumming, choir department is complete already.
And then to attract people in the area to come.
Yes. It's and it just started like that. People will come, they will say, oh, we have our own regular church. I'll say it in my language. Any church in Igboro, that place is Ologuneru. And they will say, any church in Igboro, but I felt like Gboro Lane, we just want to worship with you. Some will say, I'm even the Yadura in my church. I just want to worship with you. And as they were coming, God was just helping, God was retaining them. They will come. God was just retaining them. They will come and we rather than going to somebody, imagine somebody living at Ologuneru and will say, my church, the Igboro is Okeado, the Igboro is Challenge.
That's too far.
Our then later prayer leader, the church was at Akpata, and gradually they say, we are serving the same God. Let's stay here and serve God. And God was using them as well. The choir members were coming. Sunday school members were coming. Prayer members and families were coming. And then the sitting room, the sitting room was no longer it's now small. So we had to go to another place. There's a school close by. So we had to speak with the proprietor of that school and okay, come, it's for God's business. And since it's only Sunday, you can come and from there, God enlarged his church from there. So people came and people supported the work of God.
Thank you. Before you now go further, I want to ask you a question from your own experience, and then give us your own opinion. How do you see it? People that let themselves alone to work for God, like those people that bought drums, those people that gave you place to use free of charge, and those people like that. So if you give yourself for God, you participate in the work of God, you encourage with the work of God, and then you support the work of God. How do you see their lives?
You want me to say story this night? there's a balance, they say in my language. I boluwa showo kama jere. We cannot partner with God and then you don't make profit. It's not possible. It's not possible. God will reward your faithfulness. God will reward your faithfulness. In fact, it may not be monetary terms.
Yeah.
Good health itself.
Yes.
Blessings upon blessings. Even this morning I said it may not be money, it can be money. It can, you know, this family I mentioned, the children are doing well now. Sister Mary is married now, she's in America.
Amen.
The other brother too is Kunle, you know. Though one of them has gone to be with the Lord, so to say. But then if you see the family as a whole, that one is just, you know, there's always, when there is plus, there's always a minus. Everyone that started that parish with us and everyone that has been faithful, God himself has been faithful. There's a way God will reward you for your faithfulness. So, Ọlọ́run kì í jẹ́yàn gbé. There's no how. Ọlọ́run kì í jẹ́yàn gbé. Even when there is something to be sad about, when you think about the faithfulness of God and everything he has done, you just forget that sadness and say, God, thank you, even in this situation, thank you.
That's good. Thank you. Wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá Olúwa ṣòwò kì í pàdánù, and that is just it. We thank God for that. So I just purposely asked you because these days when I see people talking about tithes and referring to tithe as if they have done one, I'm not condemning anybody, and I'm not condemning their opinions and what they have on mind, but maybe because the way we were brought up, you know. So when I see people complaining about tithes and complaining about men of God spending your tithes and stuff like that, you know. So I will not lie to you, it baffles me. And at times when I see people that you think they're supposed to know better, and the kind of comments you read about what they say about tithing and stuff like that, I still wonder, you know. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Let me just come in.
Okay.
In my church, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, by the special grace of God, the pastors are not entitled to spend your tithes. You pay your tithes to your parish, the local parish where you attend, and it's being remitted to the provincial headquarters. From the provincial headquarters, your tithe is remitted to national. So in Redeem, pastors don't spend tithe. They don't spend tithe. I'm sure there are Redeem members here.
Yeah.
And then in Redeem, there are two categories of pastor. Two categories. Some they call them full-time pastors. Those ones are employed by Redeem, the mission. They pay them. And then there are part-time pastors. My husband happened to be a part-timer, part-time pastors. He has his own regular job. He has his, what time now? 8 to 5. He has his own regular job. It's just that he does not work on weekend and then is available to do the work of God. So he's not, my husband does not collect salary from Redeem because he's a part-time pastor. But there are full-time pastors, like I have said, that it is Redeem that pays their salary. They're on the payroll of Redeem.
Okay.
So it's that's the salary, the experts, they pay them the salary, that and that. But the tithe itself, even for a full-time pastor and a part-time pastors, you are not entitled to the tithe of the church, the tithe of the members. You collect it, they pay it, the ushers, in fact, it's not the pastor that collects it, the ushers collect it, they have a card, they record it in that card, and then it's being remitted, like I said, to the national, where the money is being, I don't know if you just tune in, when anytime Redeem is doing program, you will see our very big auditorium. That's part of the money from the local church. That's what they use the money for. So in Redeem, I know that me wa je o. Because the card is there, the record is there. Even you as a person, if you pay 1,000, if you pay your tithe 1,002, and they make mistake, they wrote 1,000. There you go and meet the ushers. You show them your card. Card mirror. I paid 1,002. There's record for everything. So, but I don't know of. I grew up in Anglican background. So I know of Anglican background as well. They keep record, they keep the cards and things like that. I don't know of other churches, but these two churches that I happen to be a member, I know what is done with it, and they don't take the tithes. In fact, there's this this program, our general overseer, Pastor Adeboye, there's this convention that he even said from the altar, he caused any pastor that he did not say spend. He didn't call it spend. He said, if you steal the tithe of your members, there's a cost he placed on them. So he did not say spend. Because if you say spend, you can say, I spend it on the church. I spend it to do the church this. He said, if you ever stole the tithe of your members, it rain cost on them. So in Redeem, to the best of my knowledge, Idamewa, Okelankolo, Aikosisale.
Okay, thank you so much. Was there okay, let me say, do people give you gifts as a pastor, as a pastor's wife? Do they give you gifts specially? And when they give you this kind of gift, are you supposed to let the province pastor know about it, or you have to let them know at the headquarters? Àwọn ọmọ ìjọ ra mọ́tò fún mi o, àbí?
Praise the Lord. I'm in the church already. This is Christmas season. This is Christmas season. To be candid and to say the truth, season, bag of rice will be in my hand. Today is 18. Christmas is 1 week. There will be chicken, live chicken, vegetable oil. People will bring it. Ampers, the members will bring it. They will bring it for us as their pastors, because they believe our life is blessing them. And this is a festival period. We have parents in the Lord by the special grace of God. Parents, not even one, that we give gifts to during this festive season. So it is expected they give us gifts. Some that even sell clothes, they give us materials and things like that. We give out to people. We give to our parents in the Lord. We give to church members as well. That one is within our purview, is our own. Ajemonu tiwa niyen. Ajemonu wa niyen. Our area pastor, when we are a parish, our area pastor, we give him his own gift too. There was a time I was even the one in charge of the hampers. I went to Aleshiloye, bought basket, and then I packed so many, give on to other pastors, give to our area pastors, give to our zonal pastors. In Redeem, there's hierarchy, step by step. You know, went to our provincial pastor, gave him his own. In return, too, they will give us something. It's not as if we are expecting something from them, but this is festive season. In our place of various places of work, they give us, my husband will come, the house will be filled with things they gave them from his place of work as well, that we have to share out to people. It is our own ajemonu. It is not, it's our own ajemonu. They are appreciating us as their pastor.
Okay, that's very good. As are there any time that you had a second thoughts, like, you know, like, will I be able to, especially with children around housework, house chores, children's education, schooling, your own job, you know, was it overwhelming? Did you ever have a second thought of, tó bá ṣe é ṣe káyé àgọ́ ìkúrò lórí mi o?
Thank you. Initially, it was a bit overwhelming. My children were young. The first one was 5. The second one was 2.
Wow.
It was later on they became 3. But initially it was very, very young, little children. Then I used to work in a bank. And you know, bank work in Nigeria, it is a lot of stress on its own. You have to, at times, if they don't balance the accounts, you don't close, you don't go. I get home 9:30, I get home 10. It was very, very, but there's always this God factor. And I cannot deny that God has been very, very helpful. The children are all grown now by the grace of God. The eldest is well above 20 by the grace of God. And God has really helped us. God really helped us in taking care of those children. God really helped us. So initially it was overwhelming, but with the help of God and with support from people around us, we had lots of support. We had lots of support around us. We have willing members. When I gave birth to my daughter, my mom was late. My mother-in-law was late. There's this elderly woman in the church from UCH, not to tell me, Wale, she said, don't worry, sit down. She was the one that bathed the baby and then took me to the bathroom to hot press my body. People were just trooping in our house. We did not, even if we don't have house help, there are times we had house help, but even if we don't have house help, we had support from people to help us take care of the children. When my daughter she'll be running around in the church, and then when she sees me, she will grab my clothes and start to breastfeed. She will run, very big girl, run around the church. And when she sees one of the mommies in the church, just carried her that night. We were having a vigil, just carried her, put her on her back. After vigil, I didn't see the mommy. I called her, Mommy, Atisheton vigil, for look at that. She said, it's time you stop breastfeeding that girl. I've taken her to my house. I'll bring her back to you on Sunday. You see her on Sunday. See the way she's embarrassing, running around in the church and opening your clothes. And that was how, when she saw me on church on Sunday, she was looking at me like this. She was looking at me like this. Till today, she's 13 now by the grace of God. That was how it was. I was still giving her. It's just that mommy that sensed it is time you stop doing this. So we had support. We had people. God gave us people. I can't deny that fact.
Let me thank you so much. Let me thank you. I believe to make it easier for you, to make it enjoyable for you, because you two were willing to learn. You were willing, you were soft, you were not harsh with all those people. So let me, before I go further, because I have one question I want to ask you. What do you have to say about pastors' wives that are always harsh, that are always very defensive? They don't want you to go too far, too close to their husbands, especially the young and vibrant pastors. I want, hey, handsome pastors, especially the rich ones, and stuff like that. You cannot tell me there are not women like that will always want to outstep their boundaries. But when you praying it off, when you want, you call your husband to talk to him and say, be careful of, I'm sensing some things, or do you always just pray? What were your actions then? Kini me is different from kini wa. Pastor is supposed to be our pastor, but in the other side, so you don't go too far. So how did you cope?
Okay, basically, I will tell you again, I attribute it to God. 1. Number 2, trust. Number 2, trust. There's God factor, and then there's this mutual trust between us. Then, if you're talking about temperament, one of the things, if you are a pastor's wife, one of the things you need to pray for and you need to work on is your temperament. If you have a very
high and hot,
you need to really, really work on yourself. I don't have that anyway, by the grace of God.
I know.
by grace, by the grace. Like I said, I am introverted introvert.
Yes.
Introverted introvert. Then, like, there's God factor, there's mutual trust, and then one of the things that really helped in the ministry is this open door policy. I'll put it this way. I call it open door policy. Even if you want to come for counseling, you want my husband to counsel you, there's a way he does his own. In one of the parishes where we were, the usher, we keep the door not too close. The door will be a bit open. And one day I told him, what if this person really wants confidentiality with you, something that is topmost secret? He doesn't want another person to hear, another person to do this and that. And he said he has his reasons. You know, we've watched so many movies and there's so many things going around, you know. So it really, really takes the grace of God, like I said, and mutual trust. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yeah, I will now divert to another one. What about calls? Like, you might have some thorns in the flesh that always want to keep him on the phone, talking and having one question, again, pastor, always calling pastor, or some we even,
He's always
like,
available. He's always available, and
they
things
don't
like that.
overcall, like call in the middle of the night or extend the call till ale pata
Do you know
pata.
what they call him? Do you know what they call him? They call him Okoloyun. Even to the point of delivery, they'll be calling him. Some will even go to the if he's available, like he's not busy in the office and things like that. He will just tell me he's going to this hospital, this and this. He will go there. There are so many that even when the family members are saying this and this, there was one I can't forget. You know, the mother-in-law was saying the lady shouldn't give birth with CS. This and this, that and that. And the doctor happens to know my husband, and he called my husband, Dr. Luyoli, and said, once if they take that woman away from this hospital, if they bring her back, he won't allow them to bring, because that woman had preeclampsia or something.
Yeah. Oh.
So, you know, and with God's wisdom, he just told the doctor, do the CS. And that was what solved the situation. So they call him Okoloyun. If it is to help, they call him anytime. He's ready to answer. God is there to help him in that situation. And God has always been the one taking the glory anyway, because he's the one doing the work. So he's always available, except he's so busy at work. Even when he's at work and he will just tell the boss excuse, and then he will go and then come back again. They know it's not something that he's doing. It's not a regular something, you know. It's just maybe once in a while that emergency or contingency, so to say. So he's available, and it doesn't really bother me, since I know it is work of God and everything is to glorify God. It is the work of God. So, and it is God that put us there. We didn't put ourselves there. So at Ijowe for long.
Okay. So now another question I want to ask is, when you look about at the benefits, the advantages and the disadvantages, which one is higher? Which one is better? Is more?
From my personal perspective as Mojirayo, the benefits outweighs the disadvantages. If there's anything like disadvantages, the benefit is, you know, by the time you start, by that time, even if you don't know how to pray, by the time you become a pastor's wife, you will know how to pray. By fire, by force. You know how to pray. One of the things God helped us was that maybe one Monday in a month, there's prayer meeting for pregnant women. So you call the meeting, and you want to be the one to lead. You will pray. You will ask Holy Spirit, help me. I want to, things you don't know how to do before. God is like a learning ground for me. It was like a learning ground. Like I said initially that I'm introvert. I don't mix. I just keep close to my circle. You cannot keep close to your circle again. I can't keep close to my circle again. I had to reach out to people. When I keep close to myself, I don't mix. When I was growing up, I would just gather my toy in my corner and be playing with it. And my mother, I happened to be the first child, and my mother would be saying, Akobi Okinsheba, Akobi man kanwa bure morani, Funlola ma kanwa bure mora. I would just go to one corner, my fi toy me she corner and my joke sibe my mother shere. But when I became a pastor's wife, I know I cannot continue that habit. I have to mix. I have to mix because the church comprises of various people. Yes. So I have to mix with everyone. I have to come out of my shell. I have to learn how to pray more. I have to learn how to mix with people. I have to, I have to discover so many things about myself because I know, I cannot. There's a way they say it. Anyhow, you walk, you won't. Anyhow, you have to be up and doing in this job. Although there are pregnant women in the church, you have to pray. Call on someone like that. God should give them safe delivery, even if it involves fasting. God, because they are indirectly they are on the neck of the church. Yes. They are so you have to commit them. So you have to learn how to pray. You have humility. You have to be, if you are not humble before, that humility, you have to learn it. Part of learning the humility is when people start calling you mommy, that mommy must not enter into your head and say you want to match, start a minimum. It is the glory of God in your life. They are just honoring. You are not the mommy. My brother was getting married in Lagos and people followed me from our church and some mummies followed me. People that should be older than my mother, they followed me and when it was time to cook, they were assisting the alase. And my aunties were there and one of them said, mommy. And my auntie said, hey, mommy. The way my auntie said it, she was just surprised. She said, hey, mommy. Hey, and me too, I call them mommy back. I will need them for them. So that mommy, you should not enter your head, even if you are not humble before. You learn how to be humble. Humility. Because it is not as if you are their mommy, but it is God. That was one of the things I learned. It is God they are honoring
God in your life.
In my life. Yeah. So it's not as I want to me belong well-educated people. One time I cannot forget, I went to Ministry of Agric in Secretariat in Ibadan. And I never knew that mommy attends our church. I never knew she has retired now. She's the permanent secretary or something.
Wow.
I went there, where to do one small scale farming, something we've put in, and they said we have to meet the authorities at that Ministry of Agriculture. And she came in and she saw me and she said, mommy, orimi wutoyi. I never knew it was somebody that sits with the governor, that dines with the governor. And, people that were there with me, they're just looking this little me, this small me. So when they call you, when they start calling you pastor's wife and they start calling you mommy, they're honoring God in your life. It shouldn't get into my head and then I start seeing myself as something. No, I'm nothing without God. So that is one of the things. So the disadvantage, like I said, the advantages outweighs. The disadvantages is just that at times, due to human nature, people think, people expect much from us at times. These people expect much. I say, I should be a pastor's wife. We are also human beings. We have human nature. We have blood flowing in our veins. We take the grace of God. There are situations that may make us even want to cry, but we keep it to ourselves. And then when there are situations like that, rather than going into depression, we can cry out. We can seek for help. We have spiritual parents, people we trust that we can cry to, we can seek for advice as well. So when people expect too much from us, it can be a disadvantage, so to say, when they expect too much.
Okay, thank you. So I have 1 or 2 points. Like the mommy that you said you met at the Ministry of Agric. That's humility in her too, for her to be in that kind of a position and still be calling you mommy. At least practically most of them knew your age. They have an idea who you will be. You understand? So humility, quite the humility. Both of you were calling yourself mommy, you know, and stuff like that. That's one thing. Then another thing is, you said the disadvantage, the only thing you could think of is when people think they are expecting too much from maybe your side. Okay, like I listened to a program one day when a pastor's wife was talking, and then she was mentioning of this, like some people will be looking at pastor's children as if they are not regular children. They are regular children also. That pastor's children too can make mistakes. They can play like other children, and then they will be like, Shibomo pastor, yeah, why are you doing this? Why are you understand what I'm trying to say? So were they expecting those from your children also? Were they expecting them to be like, I'm a pastor, so you have to sit like this, be doing like, yeah, you will not talk, you will not move, you will not, children will play like children. They will always act like
my
children.
Children don't even pretend. Children naturally, children don't pretend. Adults can pretend. If you tell a child, don't go to that place, and that child wants to go there, he will go there on his own and even say, my mommy has told me not to come here.
Not to come here.
Children don't pretend. So in that aspect, well, I don't know, maybe without my knowledge. Because even in their children class, I used to be a children teacher as well. But later on that, I'm not a regular children teacher again. If my child comes home and tell me that the teacher beats me, I will tell, what did you do? I will ask them, what did you do? I don't have to go and start fighting the teacher. Why did you beat my child? Don't you know my child is this? No. I will even scold that child and even say, there should be a reason. And they stop. I think it's just 1 or 2 instances. The elderly one just came home and since I scolded him, he will not even tell me again. He stopped. My mom will not even listen to us. So they might expect much from them. It's normal. I hear it, people expecting so much from pastors' children. But then that is one of the prayers we keep praying for them, that they come out well in life.
Amen.
That they come out well in life, in their education, in every aspect of their lives, that they do well. Because people will say, I'm a pastor man, I'm a pastor man, so many things that people say. But parents, that is part of the prayer you'll be praying for your children, that your own children, God will single them out for success in whatever they do. So
Amen.
We don't underemphasize the importance of God. We don't underemphasize it. Is of highest premium to me. God factor.
I want to ask you 2 in 1 questions. Then how has this journey affected your marriage? There was a life you were living when before the assignment came on, and then immediately after immediately the assignment came, there will be changes, right? Okay, now how has it affected your marriage? Like, as your husband, maybe ever since then things changed this way and that way. Does he have time for you, for your love life? I'm sorry if it's too much.
I feel love life now.
Yeah. Does he really have time, to be romantic? Because of pastors, okay, are romantic, and stuff like that. Yeah, number 1. Then to the children, did he have time for the children? Or he left everything in care of Yayad, mommy waloma shigugwe, stuff like that?
Well,
If it's too much, don't, you are free to boycott any question. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Nothing has really changed anyway.
Okay.
Nothing has really changed. You know that there'll be time. There are times of even the Bible says there's a time to embrace and there's a time to refrain. So that is life. There's time to eat, there's time to fast. That is that. And then for the children, by the special grace of God, he has, in fact, more than me. Like I said, I used to work in a bank. So even when I am still at my place of work, he's at home with the children. He's the one indirectly babysitting. While me, because he does a 8 to 5 job. By 5, he has signed out from his place of work. But me, I don't have a regular closing time. So he's always there. He was always there for them at their tender age. Even till now, he's still very, in fact, I can say they are closer to him more than me.
Okay.
God has really helped him in that way.
Thank you. So how did you now find relocation? How were you able to cope? You know, when you have planted this, I know you planted for God. It was God that sent you there, and there is always an end for any beginning. So, okay, how were you able to? Were you emotional living that area? I would say comfort zone, because
Redeem is not Redeem is not a permanent church for anybody. There's always transfer. That church, that initial church we were talking about, we were there for 7 years, and they transferred us from that place. From Ologweru, they transferred us to Akpete, to a much more bigger church. You know, from Akpete, we were transferred to another place. They call that place Alakuta. That one is even deep inside Akpete. That one is deep. So in Redeem, you don't stay in a church for so long. They will transfer you. You go to another place, you go to another place, you go to another place. So that place wasn't a permanent church. In Redeem, there is transfer. There is transfer.
Okay, now we are almost rounding up. Don't worry, I'll still leave you for that. Okay, what do you have to say, like piece of advice to women that are pastors' wife presently, especially the young ones that maybe they are still young in the discipleship, or I would say the ones that are aspiring to be pastor's wife? Maybe their husbands are already on that line and they know whether they like it or not, they are going to be pastor's wife. What advice do you have for them? The ones that are already, the ones that are just coming up, and the ones that are even aspiring to be, you know, you know, stuff like that. You know, at times people don't know what it entails. They think it's a baby work, it's a day job. So, like I used to tell her, let me know. You know, stuff like that.
If the anointing should fall on you, you will grab it. Oh, there's nothing like me, Rochelle.
You know, we see it as overwhelming and tasking, too tasking. That's why people try to shy away from it.
It could be overwhelming. Number one thing is that they should have a personal relationship with God. Very, very important. Personal relationship with God. They should know the way God communicates with them. They should have a personal relationship with God. They should be very, very prayerful. They should be very diligent. Another one is they should pray for discerning spirits, because you meet with so many people, and it takes, you know, it takes the spirit man in you to discern who is who. You cannot just know everything with your 2 physical eyes, even if you use glasses. There are some things you need to discern spiritual. So there are so many people they will meet. And then another one is that, like I said earlier on, extremely humble, humility, extremely humble. Even if you have PhD as a pastor's wife, and you are in a parish where those like when we were in one parish that was close to Poly Ibadan, Akpete, you still have to be humble with those students. You don't just lord over them. No, you have to be very, very humble. Another one is you have to have a ministry of your own. You have to have a ministry of your own. That's one thing that has really helped me. Like I said earlier on, I used to be a Sunday school teacher and a children teacher, and I was also in the choir before I became a pastor's wife. And when I became a pastor's wife, I don't just sit down to decorate the altar. I will sing with the choir. I'll do the Sunday school. I'll go to the children church to still teach the children. And it's really helped me. We got to one parish. On that Sunday, there was no Sunday school teacher. Our first Sunday there, the Sunday school teachers, I don't know where they went to. I just took my manual and I started to teach them. Have a ministry. Don't say, pastor, being a pastor's wife is not a ministry. You have to have a personal ministry where you know you can function effectively very well with the grace of God. We got to one parish, very big parish. In fact, I had nothing to do. I was just decorating the altar. I would just sit down with my big hat. Sunday school department filled up. Children church filled up. Choir filled up. In fact, they have 2 sets of choir, so there was no vacancy for me anywhere.
Wow.
So in my mind, I was just telling God, I don't like this kind of parish, because I don't just like decorating the altar. So they have to have a, I just one day I said, I went to the Sunday school teacher and I said, the HOD, and I said, I want to teach Sunday school. He said, can you be teaching the children? I said, yes, I don't mind. And I went to the children. Do you know, when I'm going to church on a Sunday, Saturday evening, I'll be expectant. There will be joy in my heart. Yeah, those children, because these children will ask you questions. At times, I will sit down and think before answering them. Sensible, extremely intelligent children. They will ask me questions, and then it was just something I love to do. So they have to have a ministry. They have to, what is my ministry? Not just decorating the altar as a pastor's wife. What is their ministry? They must develop and ask God if they don't have. It could be a welfare department. It could be intercessory praying. It could be children church, teenagers church, and things like that. Not just the pastor's wife alone. They need to develop a ministry of their own. Also, they must be ready to cover the nakedness of their husband. They must not be the one that will be exposing their husband, so to say, in a godly way. In a godly way. That's a deep one. That's a deep one. They must have spiritual parents who they can trust and confide in, who can call that man to order. Don't just overlook. Don't overlook. They should have somebody. Everybody must have somebody they are answerable to. We should all have somebody we are answerable to, that can cover us, that can caution us, that can caution us. Also, they can develop themselves. Excuse me, they can develop themselves spiritually, go to Bible college, School of Mission. Redeem has so many courses they can do. And then, for example, if you have maybe NCE alone, you can read more, develop yourself. You have BSc, you have the opportunity to do masters. You can do it. Develop yourself. Those are you are growing spiritually, and then you are growing yourself otherwise as well. Don't just stay in one level. Your pastor and your groom yourself. Accord your husband due respect, and you are not in competition with him. It's not as if you are competing with your husband. So accord him the due respect that is due to him. Don't just do tembele Don't just look at him.
No.
Accord him that respect. He deserves it. So another thing is, what have I not mentioned? What have I not mentioned? Have I not mentioned? Don't be a laid back. I will say don't be a laid back. If you don't have anything doing, try and learn something, try and do something. Try and have something doing, so to say. It gives you, they don't just see you as
they
don't just, when they say good women, they in Redeem, we contribute a lot in Redeem. There's women convention, there's this, there's that. They will bill your parish 20,000, for example. They bill your parish 20,000 for the women convention. You as the pastor's wife, how much lori fisile? Even if it is 2K, you give the good women leader. This is my own contribution. Ori àwọn tó kù náà wú. They will bring, because you did she should go say anybody lowo.
You won't be you won't be a liability to the church.
Then have something doing. When I left the banking job, we had a very big business center by the grace of God. We have computer center, we have this, we have that. I was into that. Later on, I went to learn tailoring.
Don't go too far. Don't go. That one is for another time.
So, you know, my nature is the nature that I cannot just sit down and
doing nothing.
Even if it is something, I learned how to make liquid soap. I learned how to anything that can bring money legitimately. Don't just sit down like that. Into that find something to even if it is little, then be dependable, be reliable. Be dependable, be reliable. So many women will look up to you. They want to confide in you. They want to help you. They want help from you. So you have to be reliable. You should not be the one that your mouth is loose. You can just say anything anyhow. Then another thing is have a big heart to accommodate people with their excesses. If you have a short temper, work on it, because there's no way, where there are human beings, there's no way we will not step on each other's toes. But when you have a large heart to accommodate people and their excesses, because every one of us, we have our excesses, I showed you. So have a large heart to accommodate people. When you have a large heart to accommodate people and their excesses, even when they do it, you may feel bad because human being, we are humans. But then, because you have a large heart, the tendency is there for you to just overlook.
There's one question that popped up just now. I've been wanting to ask, how about pastors that their mouth are loose, that when you come to tell them something, and my fish example, you understand what I mean? Yeah. They might not directly mention your name. And in the area you are living, everybody knows you as a pastor. They saw brother so to Walaleano. So definitely they would have known that brother like by just Walaleano. So stuff like that. How do we cope about pastor? Don't tell me there are no, like one joke I watched like that, one African country. The man said he was a man of God. It was a joke, it was a skit anyway. He stood in front of the church and was saying, me, I don't used to run my mouth anyhow. So when you committed abortion, did I tell anybody? Did I tell anybody? No, I did not tell anybody. Mrs. Brother, so when you stole the church money, did I complain? I did not tell anybody. He mentioned the third person. Everyone just started stoning him,
They should stone him and zip his mouth up. There should be level of confidentiality and secrecy. Very, very important. There are things people have confided in my husband by virtue of him being their pastors that I don't know.
That's how it's supposed to be.
And sincerely speaking, God is my witness. I don't desire to know it. I don't even go come me.
Kò kàn mí, kò sí tó kàn mí nínú tí ó kàn mí.
Kò kàn mí. Sincerely.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Except if he said, okay, we need to pray for this sister, this and this, that and that, that and that. This is the prayer point. But to dig deeper, you know, there's a way it will even do. The husband will say, let me not even tell her. Let me not even involve her. She wants to dig deeper, and her mouth is so loose and things like that. So we are by the grace of God, I have enough on my own. Of my own too. You know, I'm not the too inquisitive type anyway. That's
good. That's good. I know you for that anyway. You know, I was asking you, how are you coping as a pastor's wife? I never knew you can talk, you know, like I used to be quiet, very quiet. I'll just be looking at you, Lagos. Okay, the last and not the least question is what advice do you have for husbands that are pastors? Right? You have spoken about the women, what they expect, what they are supposed to be doing, the upcoming, the one in there, you know, and this. What advice do you have as a pastor's wife, directly or indirectly? It might not even be like something happening to you, but as pastor's wife, you would have seen some pastor's wife going through some things, you know, maybe they are being neglected, and the husband carried the work so much on his head that's forgetting the family, especially the wife who no need your koi, you know. And what advice do you want to give to pastors that are, husbands that are pastors?
Advice number one, they should be very, very close to God. Advice number one, very, very close to God. Advice number two, out of doing God's work, they should create time for their family as well. Create time for the wife and the children. They shouldn't neglect. They should not be too busy to be guilty. There are certain things God will not forgive them for if they fail at the home front. So they have to create time. Out of no time, create time. They have to take their health very, very important. You are doing God's work. Create time for your health as well. So
there should be a limit. Time to rest.
There should be time to rest. There should be time to rest. There's so many things that are happening. Pastors slumbering on the altar, and they should rest. That was why the first thing I said is that they should be very, very close to God. When you are close to God, there's a way God will help you to carry the load. Is the owner of the work. They should totally depend on God and create time for their family. They shouldn't neglect their wives or neglect their children. And Ijebi, there's this teaching that even our children will be accountable to our children long and Ijebi lori omo. Not say, God, is your work I'm doing, and then this is happening to my children. No, they should create time. And thirdly, I'm just reiterating it, their health. And then they should have something doing. Very, very important. Why do I want to forget that? They should have something, even if you are full-time, Redeem is paying you, even if it is, so many of them, they have farms.
Business, yes.
They have business. Do something. So that when you buy new clothes, they will not say, if you tie to our suit.
And people get bad mouth too. Someone
they will say, what work is he doing? Where will he see the money to buy this kind of? Is our money. But when they know you work somewhere, even if you are a secondary school teacher or nursery school teacher, they know at the month end something is entering your pocket. So they should find some. When it's good though. Some they are doing the work of God. They don't have any other thing, and God is taking care of their finances. It's good. But some people will say it is their money. So they should find something doing.
Mm.
They should also develop themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, in regards to the women, they should develop themselves spiritually, Bible college, this and this, that and that, and academically, if it is possible for them.
Mm-hmm.
They should develop themselves. They should read
Thank you.
more, go for more academic qualification if possible, if they could afford it.
Thank you. In fact, it's been wonderful with you. In fact, you surprised me, Mrs. Ogundeji. I never knew you could talk like this. You are still coming and coming and coming and coming.
I'm shy.
Don't be shy, you. Don't be shy. You did well. I really love this. I love this. Thank you so very much. In fact, we have learned so much. In fact, I have learned. So me as a person, I have learned because I don't even want to be close to Yaya Dipapa. I want to give them the space. And that is it. And if people can be humble and be cool-headed, things will come easily for them. And that is it. Naturally in life, even how much more you that have to deal with so many people at the same time. So thank you so very much. It's been wonderful having you.
Thanks
Mrs.
for the
Mojirayo
privilege.
Ogundeji.
Thanks for the privilege.
Our topic has been life of a clergy or a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
So she has spoken to us according to her own perspective, from her own angle, Bosheri. So it doesn't say somebody else will not have a different opinion, but in her own opinion, which I concur. So thank you so very much. We love you. We'll be calling you. Àwọn máa pè yín o lórúkọ Jésù, ẹ̀yin náà lẹ́ẹ̀bà wá o.
Àmín, Ọlọ́run á dá gbogbo wa sí o.
Àmín. Thank you so very much. I really thank you. Yes, have a wonderful evening. I would like to drop you, then you can join the audience. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. So thank you everybody for having us tonight again. This has been a wonderful evening. I hope you're learning one thing or the other. And please don't be offended. We have gone too far above our time, but because we are enjoying it, Emma Binu Siwa, Emma Binu, I'm really sorry because we have to go as far as this. So let me quickly talk about the rest of the adverts. We have Sylvia Ayoride, clearing and forwarding. That's what she does. You want clear, you want forward. They bring markets in, they send market out of Nigeria. Contact her, Sylvia Ayoride. You can check her messenger and talk to her from there. We have Oluwagbemiga Ayonuga upholstery ni. He deals with furnitures, boye cherale offices you're trying to make from the scratch. Even if you want to refurbish the ones you have, I'm not talking about the ones that they will refurbish and turn to a new one for you. So you can call on him, Oluwagbemiga Ayonuga, for your offices, for home, bed, gadget divider, everything like that. You will get in touch with him. Then I rock Holified IHS. I don't know this name. I don't know how to call him. I rock. That is I. Uppercase I. Rock. ROCK. They are together. Then Holified. HORLIFIED. Yes. Then IHS. So he's into all these Christmas items. We have Christmas trees. You want to uphold a Christmas tree for your children, can not feel the festive mood and everything. Then he's into it. Is into the lights. Then he's into jewelry like costume, bead, steel earrings, chain and hand chain, wristwatches and cufflinks. All those ones, perfumes, roll-on, body spray. You have to go check him up, him or her. I think it's a her. Go and check her up and see. She has a lot. Greeting card, wrappers. It's like a supermarket. that is just it. I think she has it. So she does all those things. Decorations, frame, horses, foot mat, center rug, vases for flowers, kitchenwares, everything. Just go on her page and see if she has any display there, and then talk to her, ask questions, see what you want to buy. So please, and don't come here and be asking me. I only advertise, and that is it. Do your own diligent inquiries, make inquiries, findings before you commit any money. Then we have Olayemi Ibitoye. If you want to buy weave-on attachments or anything like that that has to do with hair, all these hair accessories, bling bling lórí àwọn ọmọ, contact her. She sells that, and then go to her messenger and DM her. Like from there, you go ahead and do what you're supposed to do. We have Bolaji Oluwatobi Bangbola. She sells chinchin. She's located at Ibadan. She sells chinchin gbogbo. So all this festive mood, you can even include it in your hamper that you want to give to your pastor's wife or your pastor, like our pastor's wife now. When you want to give something to her for this Odun, like the one we had tonight, you can include something like that, and it's nice. You know, all those things. Google, that's chin. Just get in touch with her. She will give you lovely one, sweet and soft one. Kishi bambulambola that you will chew. You will not be able to chew, as you will not be able to swallow. I'm not talking about Rocco. Good chin. She makes it. Then she does this Zobo too. You want to buy Zobo and refrigerate. You don't have time to be doing that every now and then. She can do it, and you keep it in your refrigerator for visitors, even yourself, you and your husband. Later in the evening, after evening meal, want to cool down. So that is it. Enjoy yourself. That is it for the adverts for this week. Then I'll go back to my own. Also, you want to buy African wears and Karale, see everything that has already been made. Don't you know? Contact me at +1 215 501 4151. +1 215 501 4151. Get in touch with me. Thank you so very much, everybody, for having us tonight. As usual, this had been our online market squad and our reality corner. The reality tonight was Mrs. Mojirayo Ogundeji, who came and spoke to us about being a pastor's wife. So we really learned so much from her. We thank God for her life, and we really thank her also for honoring the invitation. Thank you all for having us tonight. On Thursday, we are concluding our party Tamuani last week from Pastor Asalu, who was talking to us about infertility, Hiromobi. So in both men and in women. Make it a date with us on Thursday at 8:30 Nigerian time, which is going to be 2 p.m. American Eastern Time. Thursday. Please be on time, so that, because if you have questions, so that it won't be at the end of the program, you'll be asking questions. So many questions came up after the program. Please be on time and help us share. Even after this program, you can still share with people. Let them listen to it and let them watch and be blessed with what we have been blessed with. Thank you so very much, everyone. I still remain Oluabi or Abid Busi, depending on which page you're watching from. Till Thursday, when we shall meet again by the special grace of God. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Love you.